Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Why Play Gaming Review Show. My name is Mr. JVille. This is a little gaming review video that I do to enhance my Steam reviews that I put on the Steam store. We are back with Resident Evil 7. Very controversial game in the series, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to get through this as quickly as possible without wasting your time. I'm a huge fan of the Resident Evil series, been a fan since I was 8 years old and such, been playing the game since I was 8 years old. What is there to say really that hasn't already been said by about possibly a billion other people? To me, this game is either Marmite. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. I pretty much crap myself in making this review because with any type of Resident Evil game I try to review, I tried to do Umbrella Corps or Corpse the other couple of months ago, and I got a few nasty messages that sort of rocked my confidence in making reviews. But you know, c'est la vie. So, without further ado, let's actually get into the actual game itself. I am just going to point out that I will not be doing spoilers, so if you're worried about spoilers or me talking about the ending of the game and such, I will talk slightly about the end of the game in terms of how I feel about it linking in with the rest of the Resident Evil series, but not exactly the ending of the game, if that makes sense. I'm not going to give away anything to do with the ending or even the game itself. I'm going to pretty much show you the beginning of the game. I'm going to start a brand new game. I have played through this once, so forgive me, I've forgotten to set my clock. I do a stopwatch where I try to get these videos done in 30 minutes and I haven't set that up, so I'm very sorry. I'm going to start the video in a second. Well, the time in a minute. Okay, so I've actually started my timer now. So, with all my reviews that I do, certain games, I try to score them on points and stuff. The menu system for me is a very big one. I'm a PC player, primarily. Will be doing some Halo videos soon, but mainly PC player, so I'm playing this on the PC. The menu system is very simplistic. It's based on a tape recorder. You just go up and down, you have your options, your exit, new game, continue, load game, more. In the more section you're taken to an online store and there's the RE net. Highly recommend signing up to this. You get like loads of freebies and they do little competitions and leaderboards and such. Store just takes you to the DLC. Game options are what you would expect for a standard next-gen game, you know, graphic settings and such. I am just going to point out I haven't changed any of these settings, so this is all set to the default settings and such. Right, let's get into this. Now I was going to load and continue, but now I need to do a whole new game. You get a choice of difficulties when you first buy the game. You'll get easy and normal. You have to play through the game once in order to get Madhouse, unless you are one of the lucky people who pre-ordered the game. You got Madhouse unlocked from the start with a few other like nice little goodies.
Hey, baby! I just wanted to send a quick hello and I love you. Oh, good news! I'm gonna be coming home soon. Yay! Oh, I cannot wait to be done with this babysitting job and come home to my loving husband. I miss you. Oh, I gotta get back to work. I love you, Ethan. I miss you so much. I'm sending tons of kisses. Bye, baby.
were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have. All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
Hello?
Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright? You just disappeared the other night.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's Mia. She's not dead, she's alive. She's back.
They found her? How? What happened?
I don't know. Look, I don't know how, but she's back. She's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank, but she wants me to come and get her.
Where is she?
Dulvey. Dulvey, Louisiana.
Dude, it's been 3 years.
I know, but what if it is her? I have to find out what happened.
So that was a little bit of the intro for you to see. The game starts off with Ethan, who is the main story character that you play throughout the most of the game and such. In fact, pretty much all of the game. He's in search of his missing wife, who went missing 3 years ago, called Mia, or Maya, depending on how you pronounce it. And that's basically
This is the place.
where the game starts off from. So, not too much, typical sort. It's very reminiscent to Resident Evil 1. Alpha team goes searching, goes missing. Bravo team goes in, looks for them. Sort of same kind of scenario, except there was a bit of a 3-year gap with this one. Mia goes missing, Ethan goes to search for her 3 years later. Just want to point out the graphics for this. I am playing on a PC. Usually I post my specs in the description, so graphically the game will differ depending on each person's system. Consoles completely differently will be looking different, but if you're playing on a PC and it doesn't look as good as mine, or even looks better than mine, it depends on your specs and such. That also goes for the recording. I hope that this comes through pretty high quality. I know when recording it doesn't capture the entire um, resolution and stuff, but I hope you can get the beauty, of that is the game and such. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's graphically it looks amazing. So we have our little objectives, and we have a map. As I say, the textures, the lighting, the sound, it all feels pretty good. Now I know the PlayStation version got it in VR. I would have liked the PC version too as well, so you can't play it in VR. But it's still very impressive to play. So in terms of an actual Resident Evil game, this feels very much like an actual Resident Evil game. A lot of people will disagree with me. Hardcore fans, religiously fanatical fans will disagree with that. But it is very much a survival horror. It's a massive change from the last few. There's lots of jump scares, the story elements are amazing, and the Easter eggs that they leave in the game, which I'm not going to go over. Again, as I said, no spoilers, but when you play the game, there is little Easter eggs that link it to the general universe of Resident Evil and such. Again, I said I didn't really want to talk about the ending, but I would have liked the ending to somehow have tied in with the Resident Evil universe. And it does. just not in a way that I would have liked it to have. Oh. So, usually people complain about the fact that it's first person mode and not third person like most traditional Resident Evil games. I just want to point out a fun little fact for you, ladies and gentlemen, that Shinji Mikami, the original creator of the original creator of Resident Evil, conceived Resident Evil as a first-person point-and-click game back in 1992, a few years before releasing it on the PlayStation. There is a few concept artwork and footage of this. You can go find that out and look at it. So a lot of people complain about, oh, it's first person and such. Resident Evil was originally going to be a first person game, so I just want you to think about that and how different your opinion on the series would be if he had released it as a first person shooter than the third person that you commonly know and see now. So I think this game gets a lot of hate because of that and such, and they've tried to do first person games. This is nothing new in the Resident Evil series. You know, you have Survivor, Survivor 2, Dead Aim, and a few other titles in the RE series that have all tried to do first person. This one just seems to actually have perfected the first person element of the gameplay and such, which I like. I absolutely love the fact that this is a first person. Playing it in a third person, I don't think I would feel as scared. I know Dead Space does it quite well. Dead Space revived the third person horror genre, and then there's been a few since. So this is the email. I should have actually looked at this at the beginning of the game. I completely forgot. So I enjoyed the game. I played it through once. There's lots of replayability. There's two different endings. Why you should buy this game if you're looking for a good game to sort and a good story to go through. I highly recommend the story elements, the jump scares and such, the interactiveness, the puzzle solving, and the overall feel of the game feels really nice to play. Again, a lot of people, even like hardcore fans, have said that they don't mind the game as long as it was called something else. So that to me, says something massive. That if you don't mind the game, ooh, can we go back out? No.
Damn.
That to me says if you don't mind the title, then it shouldn't affect you that much. Sorry, I'm fumbling with my words because although I've played through it once, I've completely forgotten the beginning of the game. So again, if you want to try out the game yourself, this part of the game that I'm up to is on the Steam to download. It's part of the demo. It's called the Beginning Hour, where basically you're in this part of the house. You get to do a few puzzles and such, and then play through the Beginning Hour. So yeah, as I said, basically, I would have liked a few more Easter eggs in the game. Over 20 missing in the last 2 years. So you see things like this as like little newspaper clippings that sort of do give you insight to the Resident Evil universe. I kind of don't want to do spoilers, but one spoiler is there is a magazine on a table somewhere in the game, and it hints to the Raccoon City incident, linking this to the general Resident Evil universe and such. There are other little like things in the game that not directly story related, and that I think was the main problem with a lot of people and myself was there's nothing in the story that directly links it to the other like the other games, the other characters, or anything like that until you get towards the end of the game. And then towards the end of the game, that's when it truly feels like a Resident Evil title. That it starts to become sort of part of the universe as towards the end. So the beginning of the game is really good, very very entertaining and stuff. And then about halfway through, it's kind of like watching a movie. You get halfway through the movie, and you sort of like this movie's playing on a bit too long, kind of like this video. You get halfway through, and it basically just sort of drags its heels, and there just isn't anything that sort of links it, and you sort of lose sort of focus on what to do and such. Um, and I would have liked more Easter eggs, more little sort of hints at, like, little reports or files, because like Resident Evil was always famous for its little like Easter eggs, like picking up a file and reading the file, and it would tell you about like a character from the series and such. This does do that. There is little Easter eggs in the game that does do that, but there's not many of them, and I would have just liked that to have helped, fill it into the world a bit more. Overall, the enemies, the AI is amazing. The main family's dad hunts you down basically, and scares the crap out of me from time to time, bursting through walls and such. I generally felt scared in certain parts that like I just couldn't get away from him. There was a few things basically through the game that gave me little jump scares. The enemies are challenging, not impossible to overcome, but very challenging and such. This is our save point, so I'm making you save. Now, the other thing I love about this game as well is the 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 feel to it. It's got a very much like an Alien Isolation feel. The way they made Alien Isolation was they went back to the 60s, 70s, early 80s sort of genre of making movies and stuff where everything was big and bright buttons and flashy lights and stuff and like that old school feeling. They've captured that feeling for me in this game with the tape recorders. I mean, thankfully, you don't actually have to find tapes to use the save point like they used to in the old Resident Evil. You used to have to find an ink ribbon to use on a typewriter, and if you didn't have an ink ribbon, you couldn't save. Well, luckily, you just find one of these tape recorders and you save on them. So it reminds me of like Alien Isolation with the old style technology and stuff, and that type of like the video cassettes. Like, you have to find video cassettes to play to progress the story along and such, which we're about to do. So I like the feel that they've captured for this game and such. One thing that I will point out is a lot of people seem to compare this to a rip-off of Outlast and another title which I can't remember, but I did play the demo of. It's a Silent Hill one. I can't remember its actual name, but this doesn't feel like a rip-off. It generally doesn't. I'm going to stop talking now anyway and let you just have a little watch of this footage.
Who? Where did you find this guy? Give me a break, Pete. Hey, I only
Oh
work
god,
for
I forgot. I
professionals.
actually have to
Speaking
mute.
of which, make sure the sound is right this time. I don't want a repeat of Amarillo.
That was 2 fucking years ago.
I don't do ADR.
I forgot about
You
this.
guy? I'm not feeling it. Again? Just don't be surprised if we have to make a change. New plan. We do a walkthrough of the inside first, then we shoot the intro.
Just like we always do. Just try to say the show's name this time, okay?
No problem. Tonight on Sewer Gators, another worthless fucking shithole. Happy?
Ecstatic.
So yeah, when you find these little videos, rather than them actually like playing a cutscene, you watch the cutscene. You physically go through the cutscene as a person who's holding the video camera.
Are we rolling? All right, let's go.
Get out of the way.
You get the graininess. They have like a grainy filter. It's very grey, like you are
So,
like using
we
a
home
video,
this time?
an old school
You ever
video
prep?
camera.
What's the prep? Shitty house, spooky sounds? Ooh, is it haunted? Fuck me. I was an anchor, you know?
Weekend sub, Pete. Not anchor.
What's that?
Nothing.
What's the story, Andre?
Abandoned farmhouse, missing family, foul play suspected. The usual.
How long did you say this place has been abandoned?
3 years.
Clancy, get a shot of this. Let's make a great cutaway. So, Hillbilly Joe and his family go missing.
Not hillbillies, the Bakers. Jack and Marguerite Baker. And they were quiet, not backward. A lot of bad rumors about their son, Lucas. Bad seed, apparently.
Ah, shit! I know I should have worn my good shoes. Oh, shit. Glad I had my shots. Although, this would make a great backdrop. Andre, what do you think? Andre? Andre! Andre!
So,
Clancy,
as I
see
said,
where Andre went?
these little video clips, I'm trying to be quiet so you can
Where
watch
is
the
he?
video yourself and get a rough idea, but
Unfucking-believable. This is the last
you get to
time I
play
worked
this
with
in
that
the
guy.
demo, so if you want to
producer,
get a
they
feel
gotta
yourself,
go, but
you can
Good cameraman like you, Clancy?
play the demo of
You
this.
stick with me.
The voice acting is pretty good. The acting in it is really good. Like most Resident Evil games, you either get a good game where it keeps you entertained, or as everyone will remember the classics, they are horrifically bad.
What the fuck was that?
So
Did you hear that?
I can't open the door because he's gonna open the door now.
Andre? Where the fuck is he? Andre, where are you, man?
So this did come out on the 24th of January, 2017. It's February now. I played through it. It took me about 12 hours. I took my time. Most people can complete this game in about 4 hours. There is actually an achievement to complete the game in 4 hours and such.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. All right, new deal. We find Andre and we go. I mean, fuck this show.
So yeah, a lot of people can complete the game in under 4 hours. There's an achievement on Steam. 8 hours roughly is the record time that most people are doing it in and such. Some are even doing it quicker than that. I managed to get this game done in about 12.5 hours, and that's because I took my time. I didn't just sit and play through it all at once and such. I sort of spread it over a couple of courses, days and such, and I was looking at all the Easter eggs
You first.
that you can find and
Need a nice
such.
hero shot of me coming down the ladder. So, you first. What do you see? What is it?
That doesn't look scary. And that's the end of that. But the great thing about these little video clips that you find is they tell you basically how to get on with things and how to progress and such. So now we know if we press this, the wall over here is about to open, and we just go through. Oh, God.
Damn it.
So there's no bodies, but there's a lot of blood from where we saw Andre's body. So the video is about to end. I only have 5 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. I have actually gone well over the 30-minute marker. If you have stuck around, thank you very much. This has been Resident Evil 7. I hope this has give you a rough idea on how the game works and such. Out of 10, out of a score of 10, I'm gonna give this. Oh fuck! Completely forgot that happens. Out of a score of 10, I'm gonna give this a modest 7. I mean, there's a lot of improvement that the game could do. Again, like the little Easter eggs, a few more Easter eggs to tie it in with the general Resident Evil universe would have been nice. The overall feel of the game, I felt genuinely scared. There was parts where I literally was terrified, where like people in the house would come in and like ask me what was wrong with what was I shouting at and stuff, and then like they'd see that I was playing Resident Evil and they'd just say grow the fuck up or something, or man the fuck up and stuff. So yeah, it was fairly good. It's a very challenging game. It's a very oh fuck. It's a very scary game. So if you don't get scared easily, then it's definitely for you and such. So yeah, that has been Resident Evil 7. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe for more gaming reviews. I do try to get them out when I can and such. If you have any questions about Resident Evil or the game, please leave them in the comment section below. For those of you on Steam, if this review encouraged you to buy the game, please let me know as well. It's always good to get people's feedback about like my reviews and what I can do to improve to make the experience when watching them much better. Again, it's a really nice game. I enjoyed it. But as I say, the game is basically Marmite. You're going to find a lot of people who talk bad about the game and claim that it's not a Resident Evil title. You're going to find people who don't care and just want something to play, and then they find that it's actually really enjoyable. And then you'll find people like myself who, like Resident Evil, like this, like the way that they've done it, like the fact that they've gone back to this survival aspect. One thing I didn't mention all the way through this game is that there is DLC for the game. There is a season pass. The first DLC has dropped. It's called Not a Hero. I won't go into the titles or anything to do with the DLC, but basically there is a season pass. You can pick it up and it's going to extend the game a bit longer. So if you felt that the game, or you're worried about the fact that people have like completed this in 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, or whatever amount of time, there is DLC that's going to extend the game. I'm standing on the spot because I don't want to go any further and spoil the game for you. As I said, this is just going to be this part of the game, so for you to see further and watch down that corridor, buy it yourself. As always, my name is Mr. Jayville. Thank you for watching the Why Play gaming review show, and I will see you in the next one.